Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and a welcome into Yolanda Starks White joining us today.
Yay! Yogi's here. I'm my
It
own cheerleader. I'm
That's
all I
all
need.
you need. You are all you need. I don't care what she tells anybody else. She's
Mm-hmm.
all she needs. And welcome into Coy Malone. How are you today, Coy?
I'm doing great. How are you all?
Hello, sweet girl.
Hello.
So, did you have a good weekend?
It was trying. I had a decent weekend. I did. I just try not to let work, take over.
Hmm.
But wait, hold on. It was Easter weekend.
It was.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew about it.
Oh, okay,
Plenty of
okay,
people that reminded me.
okay.
Did your bosses know?
They did. They kind of didn't. Well, they made sure that they knew they had their time off and what have you. I really didn't. I did like Saturday and Sunday, but not like Friday, Good Friday, like everybody
You
else
had to go to
did.
work on Friday?
I did, and
Okay.
it wasn't.
I've
I mean, I
always
could have
had to go
taken
to work
off,
on Good
but
Friday.
yeah,
Sybil, we
there was
all
too much
do.
going
But
on.
people like to all of that.
Oh, I thought it was I thought it
No.
was something. Okay.
No,
Oh,
I'm sorry,
okay.
Coy. I'm sorry.
No, it's
I'm
okay.
just very funny about holidays and how people get so caught up in the holidays that they don't even celebrate. That's an annoyance for me.
Yeah.
What would you have done, Coy, in honor of Good Friday if you had the day off?
Rested and cleaned up my apartment.
Exactly.
In honor of Good Friday.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That would have made it a good Friday for you.
Mm-hmm. Had the whole Friday to do it.
Okay. All right. So,
Hmm.
so Yolanda, how was your weekend? You had a big weekend.
Remind me.
You got fresh hair.
Yeah, but that was today. So I'm
Okay.
in the
Well, I
weekend.
thought it was Easter Monday for you. And it is
It's not Easter Monday.
no, no, Easter Monday is a thing.
What does that mean?
Easter Monday is the Monday after Easter Sunday, in which a lot of people have that day off as well. And this is when Ward White is choosing to dismiss
She got a
Sybil,
symphony going on in the
girl, let me tell you
background.
something. It has been one of those days. So let me tell you something. I have no idea what happened before today because today has been all encompassing.
Oh
So
my.
It's a
Okay.
Mercury retrograde, day one today.
today is Mercury
That's
retrograde.
what Miss
Hmm.
Astrology told us.
Yep, through the 25th.
Wait, hold on. Is today the first?
April Fool.
Happy April Fool's
Hmm.
Day.
So maybe
Yeah.
that's what you were getting the effects of.
Oh no.
Oh no, it was real.
It was no, no, oh no. How was your weekend, sweet girl?
I had a good weekend.
Not you.
Overall.
The
Well,
other,
who else
the
is
other.
a sweet girl?
Oh
It's
my goodness!
me.
I agree with you, Coy. Okay, Sybil, start the show. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh, she really disconnected.
It is. Oh wow.
Don't be like that.
Oh no. Was that
Oh,
Sybil or
Sybil.
was it Mercury?
No, it was definitely Sybil. Coy said, was that Sybil or was that Mercury?
No, it was definitely Sybil. I did a Quinn because you all are all you need.
Baby, we cannot do this without
Well,
you.
trust and believe. Trust and believe. There's some who believe that could happen. So
Not I.
yeah, okay. Um, so you
That
went
was
to
very.
church yesterday, Yolanda.
Did go to, I am glad you brought that. Coy, I am glad that you brought this up. So, Sybil, just give me 2 minutes and I know we need to get past this because I need to. So, since COVID, so I'm a church girl, Coy. I've gone to church all my life. I know all the scriptures, I know all the call and response, all of that. I really love the Lord, but I feel like I have an obedience to go to church. When COVID hit, I stopped going and I loved it. It was great. It was just very liberating because when I went to church, I am honest enough to say I don't feel closer to God. Like I have an incredible relationship with God and it has nothing to do with church. And I'm not active. I'm not on the usher. I don't do any of that. I just go because I grew up going, and Madea expects for me to go, so I go.
And Madea's been gone for a long time, but she still expects for you to go to church.
Madea's been gone over 10 years, but still, I'm still obedient.
Obedient, right.
Yes. And so there's this one lady that's in the area. When I see her, she convicts my spirit that I need to be in church. She don't ever say anything, but she's just like,
no, she says some things, and what she says reaches you.
It does. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to go to church.
So tell her how you went to the club Friday night and you were convinced to go to.
Was she at the club convicting you?
Well, hold on.
Yes.
No. Hold on. Somebody died, and she was this beautiful person who died, but she loved the club. She just wasn't a church person. So they had her memorial service at this local club. It is by far the best memorial I've ever attended. It had everything. They had the Old Testament, New Testament's welcome. But when they got time for the song, it was all Maisie Frankie Beverly theme. And so the first song was Golden Time of Day. It was really nice. Well, the person who got up to speak was this lady. She is the pastor's wife of this church. And Coy, if you would have heard the words of comfort that she spoke, it was convicting. Afterwards, I was like, okay, so you really trying to get me in the church. You won. I'm back in church. Because there is just something about being obedient. And I know that I am happy. I have peace. I have love. I have joy because of the relationship that I have with God. That's why there's no depression in me. And I'm very positive and optimistic. It starts with my relationship with God. And I'm clear about that. But part of that is, for me, is going to church and just showing God, you do all of this, I can at least go to church. So that's my little speech. And Coy, I went to church yesterday and it was so beautiful. It was just such a beautiful experience, mainly because the lead pastor is a Black woman and she is bad. And it's like, if for nothing else, we support Black women. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to support her in another service, and the singing is another level off the chain. The singers are professional. Like the brother is Taylor Pace. He goes out on the road and around the world playing, and the sister is a professional singer. So even if we just went for the singing, Sybil, we should go to church.
And she told me that like Friday night coming home from the club. But I'm not one to go on holidays for whatever reason. I'm not convicted enough to go on, the CME days, Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter. But I do believe that, it's on our hearts, and it should be to do that. I don't have the conviction that Yolanda does, and my dear does not haunt me. Neither does my
well, yours isn't out of guilt. Mine is out of guilt. Yours is because you believe we should go. Mine is, I'm honest to say, mine is out of guilt.
Right. But I also think you believe that we should go. I really do. I really do.
And Sybil, as I'm always reminded,
obedience is better than sacrifice. Was that First Lady who said that?
Okay, right. Anyway, Sybil, it's been it was beautiful. So again, but the point is I was embarrassed, and I actually had to call a couple of younger people that I have in my life and apologize to them, because I want to be an example. And if I'm bragging that I don't go to church and I don't miss it and all of that, that is not representative of the Christ that I serve. And so I had to let them know that I was wrong, that I need to go to church, and I encourage them to go. And they have children, make sure their children are going to church. So that's my speech.
And they did go to church, didn't they? Those that you reached out to, one of them did.
One of them did, the other one didn't. But she said she agreed with me, and she does know that she needs to go. It's justice, by the way.
Okay, call her out.
So we better see
Yolanda,
Justice in church.
what have you done?
Justice better be in somebody's
You
church on Sunday.
just poked that woman to the point where now, thanks a
No,
lot.
she said she was open. She said she was definitely open, and she agreed.
Okay, all right, okay. Oh, but
Listen to this right quick.
justice.
Oh my
No,
God,
let me just
this
say
is
this. All
beautiful.
text justice go to Yolanda. Robert Ferguson on YouTube says, I joined church yesterday. It was third visit. I've been praying to find a new church since I left Illinois. Phoenix has so many, and I've been here 2 years, and I'm happy with my choice. Bravo.
Bravo.
Nice.
That's nice.
Congratulations. Amen. And
Sybil,
praise
thank you for allowing me to share that.
That's okay. It was more than 2 minutes. But Coy, so let's move to the What You Need to Know newsletter because we are on the clock. And the What You Need to Know newsletter is our Monday through Friday newsletter in which we seek to inform and empower the African American reading community. And we also talk about those issues on our evening show. It's Sybil here on YouTube and Facebook Live. Coy Malone is our social justice contributor, and she has given an update on a settlement made between the family of a Black man and Detroit police. Coy, what you got?
So this is about the story of Lamont Johnson, who is a 44-year-old Black man who was unfortunately shot and killed by Detroit officers Tyler Nagy and Raul Martinez in October of 2018. And on March 15th, the U.S. District Court, Eastern District of Michigan, their federal jury awarded his family more than $1.5 million in damages after they filed a wrongful death lawsuit. And this included $4,800 for funeral expenses, $100,000 for conscious pain and suffering, $420,000 for lost wages, $86,000 for medical expenses, and $900,000 for past and future loss of society and companionship. So basically what happened was in October of 2020, his family filed this wrongful death lawsuit against the city of Detroit and the two officers, alleging that they used excessive force when they shot and killed Mr. Johnson. And before the shooting, he had no criminal record. First of all, he was stopped by police after pulling a knife on a friend and threatening him with the handgun. No one was hurt. The gun was never fired. And so Johnson left, and he left the scene. He started going home. He was riding his bike, and the friend then called police and said that Johnson tried to stab him. And according to a pretrial order, the officers went on foot to find Johnson, who was walking alongside of his bike, likely because he was too intoxicated to actually ride his bike. So this body camera footage of when the officers approached Johnson, they began yelling at him to show his hands, but didn't identify themselves as police officers. Johnson froze, and the officers fatally shot him less than 3 seconds later. The body camera footage showed that Johnson never moved his arms when the officers spotted him, from the time they spotted him to the time they shot him. So the police officers, according to the Detroit Police Department, the officers acted within department policy and they remain employed. Martinez has been with the department since 2017, and Nagy has been with the department since 2016 and was promoted to sergeant in 2022.
Wow.
And what about the tire tracks on this man's back?
You know, I didn't see that part of the story. I have tried to do a little bit more research to find out about that. So I didn't know that he had tire tracks on him, but there was a lot of excessive force. He died unnecessarily. He didn't do anything wrong. Somehow the department, you know, they investigated themselves to find themselves not guilty. Right. And I just feel like this settlement is just hush money.
Right. Exactly right. Yeah. Those are the kind of social justice stories that Coy does undertake on a regular basis. And yeah, I do worry because of the timbre of the stories, and in her effort to super serve and to give as much information as she possibly can, it also has a tendency, at least for me in the reading of the stories and in following them along with her, is that it can have a detrimental effect. But she does a really good job at serving and giving people as much information as possible regarding these social justice stories. And so,
As if Coy is not here, speaking about her as she's not here. She thrives off of this. I'm like, oh my
yeah,
God.
that kind of scares me too.
It's like, good night.
I don't thrive off of knowing what happened to people because it is very
No, no,
sad to
no,
see.
not
But
not that
yeah,
part. Not
No,
that
no,
part.
let her, she's so
right.
serious, Sybil. Let her have it. Go, Coy. You're so
No, I'm
serious.
saying like
Down, girl.
it doesn't like I find joy in spreading these stories
Right.
and
That's
telling
what she's
people
talking
that
about.
yeah, like just spreading the news about how justice doesn't often serve us and trying to keep everyone aware of the current situation and climate when it comes to Black people and how we're at a disadvantage as compared to everyone else. And there's
Well,
so
you
many
do a
people
great
that
job.
they always have this conversation about, well, we need to forget about this and it's not like that. But I have so many examples every day of how it is like that.
Well, you do a great job. I couldn't do it. I can't. To Sybil's dismay, I can't even read your stories every day because it's just too much. It's too heavy for me. So I commend you.
It is
Because
heavy though.
there's nothing like saying, "Did you hear about?" And I was like, "Yeah, if you read your newsletter, you would have seen that."
Yeah.
But it is something that is worthy of your time in reading Yolanda, as well as just her ability to keep us up to date and aware with what is going on in our community. So. Thank you very much for that, Coy. Also, it's Ministry Monday. Speaking of great contributions to the newsletter, the great Willie Mae McIver gives us her take on this Ministry Monday, and I do recommend that you do this, that you check out her newsletter and check out her contribution to the newsletter each Monday, and it's like going to church. It's sort of like
Mhm.
what Yolanda experienced, but she was really there. But she does a really good job, and we thank our friend for contributing to the newsletter because she just speaks the word and she gives us quotes and scripture numbers and passages and keeps us up to date on what's going on. So I really appreciate that. Also, in the newsletter, for those of you who had not heard, and I didn't think there was enough information that was given in wake of the announcement of his death, and that was about the great Louis Gossett Jr. and gave me an opportunity to revisit his career in writing an obituary of sorts, in which he was a man of first and rightly so. He had an amazing career that
Right.
started on Broadway when he was still in
Mhm.
high school.
Mhm.
That's how just prolific he was in his talent.
Mhm.
He was a tall, graceful youth and
Mhm.
an important member of his high school basketball team, but it was a sports injury that led him uh, to the drama department. And so, as a result of that, his drama teacher saw the potential, saw the promise, and encouraged him to audition for these plays. And before he even graduated from high school, he was starring on Broadway. He
Mhm.
went on to be a part of the Broadway community with a lot of other great names, including James Earl Jones and folks like that. Uh, Dr. Maya Angelou before she was a doctor, and all of these great people who were part of the Black Broadway community. And he went on to be the first Black person to win a supporting actor Oscar
Right.
for his work in An Officer and a Gentleman, where he played the
Right.
gunnery sergeant. And he was just, and also he won an Emmy for his role of Fiddler in the iconic TV series, miniseries, Roots. And just an incredible man, but also understanding what these roles looked like, especially when he said when he played subservient characters
Mhm.
like Fiddler. He didn't want to be that Uncle Tom like character, but he understood the responsibility and what some of the messages that he was trying to deliver through those characters. And he was also part of an organization called Eracism, in which he would balance the parts that he was playing and the way he was treated in Hollywood with informing people about what was going on in his community. And so He was 87 years old. The last movie that
Right.
we've seen him in, there's another movie that's waiting to come out, but the last movie that many of us saw him in was in the musical version of The Color Purple. And so it is a profound loss to not only to our community but to our world that Louis Gossett Jr. is no longer with us. But we thank him for his contributions.
And just so the voices like mine get in, he was fine too.
And that was the first thing she said. Oh, great picture.
Yeah, right. But no, just one of my all-time memories from all movies put together. I would say the top 5 would be him in An Officer and a Gentleman.
Yeah.
When he was walking that line with that straight back, his shoulders was down his chest. Oh my God.
Yeah, he was
beautiful.
He was an amazing man.
Did you see An Officer and a Gentleman, Coy?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember seeing that movie and being uncomfortable in the movie theater, seeing it with my mother.
I bet.
Yeah. When I was little.
Yeah.
It was on TV by the time I saw it.
Yeah. If you get a chance, revisit it. He's worth it because not only is he beautiful, he's an incredible actor. So.
And revisit Roots if you can.
Mm-hmm. I remember Roots.
Well, I'm just asking to other people who may not remember Roots, or just a refresher, if you will. The last thing I want to mention is that we also give some of the faces and the names of the Hispanic construction workers who were lost in the bridge accident last week in Baltimore. Not enough attention, I don't think, has been put on these Hispanic men who did the jobs that a lot of folks did not want to do. So many of them lived in this country for as much as 20 years, had raised families here, were now, one of them was pictured being at the gender reveal party for a grandchild that was coming. And for all of the good work that the people in Baltimore and Maryland are doing to get this port back up and running, remember those who's lost the lives that were lost and their families, and also give you an idea of a GoFundMe a program that is underway to help the families of these men who are lost. Let's move to, and that's what's in our What You Need to Know newsletter. Please go to SybilWilkes.com, give us your name and your email address, and we'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday. And if you're not receiving your newsletter, and yes, my cousin Camille is one of those, let us know, and we'll put Chica on the case and try to figure out what's happening and get you guys back online. Rushing through this because one of us has to be mindful of the time. And let's move to what's really going on. And Yolanda, it's time for your favorite new game. Would you rather? So sit back, Coy, and get ready to play Yolanda's favorite new game.
Yes, Coy. And I was so excited that Sybil allowed me an opportunity to come on with you today. As a matter of fact, Sybil, I think we should address, somebody in the comments says, so we have a new lineup.
Yes.
And so no, we don't.
Yes, we do.
I am just a substitute when the regulars can't come, but no. And I wanted to play this game with Coy, so that's why I'm on today. So Coy, this is Would You Rather. So we did this with Aprilette one week. It was so much fun. So I'm going to start out slow and light. And my question to you is, would you rather daylight saving time, or what's it called, Sybil? Is fall back or to spring forward?
Right.
What's your preference?
I'd rather spring forward to have the longer days. Just don't change it.
Okay.
Right. You rather
leave
have
it where
more
it is.
Okay.
Yes. Leave it where it is.
Okay. Sybil, what about you?
I like the more hours of sunlight as well. I like, and it is darker in the morning.
Right. That's what I thought you didn't like.
No, I like that it's still light in the evening when we get done here, and I can still go outside and play a little bit.
Right. But the reason why I put this up, because even weeks and weeks and weeks after the time change, people are still talking about that they're thrown off.
Right.
I was like, really? Okay. Well, you know what? You like what you like. So with
probably
that,
thrown off mentally already.
Well, that's what I think. But with that, Coy, are you a East Coast person, West Coast person, North person?
West Coast? You know, I'm from the West Coast.
not the West Coast.
Yes. No. I love the East Coast though. I do. The West
Which
Coast is
So
just the
here,
beaches.
which
Coy,
if
which
you have to
coast?
go one, but you can never go to another coast.
Oh
What is your
man.
permanent coast?
That's
But you
leave
also got the South, and you got the. I mean, so you
to
North.
go to the South Coast.
Don't be like
Well,
that.
that's Florida.
Yeah, that's Florida.
Boo!
Alabama.
I have been there enough times in my lifetime. I lived in Miami enough. Like, nah, I'm over it. Oh gosh. Oh man. Ooh, that's a tough question. I love California, but I might have to leave the California crackheads alone. They different.
And you would if you had to pick, you would pick the East Coast. Really? Okay, you like what you like. How about you, Sybil?
It's just the food in New York. That's all.
Okay. How about you, Sybil?
You done?
No,
Okay, I didn't think so. I
gotta flip a coin.
I'm gonna put my own here, and I would say the Hawaiian coast.
Well, that would be West.
Okay, then that's
Okay. Okay.
What
well,
about you, Yolanda?
You always go with Hawaii. No matter what, always go with Hawaii. I'm a West Coast girl too. I actually miss living on the West Coast.
I miss it too.
Me
yeah.
too.
You do? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't have to ever go to the East Coast again.
I like to visit the East Coast, but I don't think I could ever live there.
Where's your place you like to visit the most on the East Coast?
I love New York City.
More than DC?
I like DC a lot because of I like the whole the hustle and bustle of the town, and I like the intersection of politics and real living. But definitely because of Broadway and things like that, I love New York City.
So, Sybil, let me ask you this. If you are in a relationship with someone and you have a disagreement, would you rather to confront the situation and deal with it, or do you need to walk away and get your head right?
I definitely need to walk away, and sometimes may never return because I haven't
Hey,
gotten.
that is true, Coy. you ain't said nothing but a thing with that. Oh my God.
Sybil, where'd you go? Oh no.
What was her name? I can't. What was her name?
Oh God, that is so. My girlfriend.
I wish I could remember her name. She was nice and we got along. We had one argument and she just walked away and never heard from
Coy,
me.
when Sybil is done, Coy, it's like God, Sybil. Oh, yeah, why did I even bring this up to you? Yes.
So I answered. Coy, what's your answer?
These days, I walk away and get my head together, even though I'm ready to do it like right then and there. I'd rather but everybody isn't receptive to that. They're not. I don't think they're used to it either. And I'm not like a overbearing or anything. I don't know why I'm so intimidating, but I think I do that to spare other people because I'd rather right now.
You rather confront it?
Yeah.
Yolanda,
talk about it, get over it.
100%. 100%. I'm definitely let's confront it, let's deal with it, and let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
And I have grown to that because I do have a very quick, I'm done, I'm out of it, forget it, next.
Now I gotta cut you.
Right, shut up. I love you. But I find that and that it is better for me because I really believe this, that if we are at an impasse, that the problem is probably you and not me. So I am going to
because
be
you're
gracious.
so spiritually and mentally grounded.
Well, I'm just saying, I am going to be gracious and work through this so you can come to understand how wrong you are.
Well, it's also a time for everybody to learn and to grow past whatever it is. Yes, it is.
What if you already know? People always say that. What if I already know?
Well, then sometimes you have to
I don't
know
have to learn
how the other person responds. Maybe it's time for you to learn how they respond.
They're not responding like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only kidding.
Oh, no.
I'm only kidding.
I think it's
I've learned the hard way that immediately is not good for me, and I do need the space. And
But
physically,
Sybil,
it's not
but
good
you
for me.
will. But if you see what scares me with space with you, because that space could be elongated, and the longer the time, the harder it is for you to come back.
It's not hard. I just refuse.
She just don't want to. She just
Okay.
don't want to.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm okay, and I don't need that, or I don't need that.
But at this point, aren't we old enough? And so I know that maturity is not based on age.
I'm way too old.
But therefore, we should be able to talk and come to an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a vulnerable place for a lot of people, and they feel like when there is some type of correction, that means that there's some type of loss, or they're without, or they lack, and it's like it's not that. It's just a point for you to learn and to grow, and your triggers are just highlighting the parts that you need to heal. That's it. All we need to do is come to an understanding. That's it.
I agree.
Get it and move on. It is not that difficult.
And I'm afraid to learn anything. And Yolanda has given me a lot of truths about myself, as well as many men in my life telling me about. People are very good at telling me about myself, but and I'm okay with that, because the one thing I do like to do is to learn something every day. And so if that is the learning that I get from that day, then I'm cool with that. But I also think that the response just needs to breathe.
Okay. All right. Well, that's one way of doing it. That's one way of doing it.
Which is always the response when you don't agree. So, okay, we're running out of time.
No. This one, what I really want to do, I wish I would have said. So, and we'll make this succinctly.
Oh, I think I'm going to settle on the West Coast, by the way.
Okay, because they're eating us up in the comments about the East Coast. But,
okay.
But, so listen to this. Out of the 5 senses, if you could, what do we say, Ward? If you could not see or not move, which would you pick?
What?
I have no movement. Like I can't even move my neck.
Walk. Yeah. You can move your neck. You can't walk. You can't be independently and move around. So you can move your neck. You can watch TV.
I don't want to put this out there. I don't want to speak wrongly and have something, God forbid, something happen, but it would not be able to move as opposed to not be able to see. For me.
Why?
I think the loss of sight and in my case, the loss of hearing would be just the worst possible thing. To not be able to hear people's voices, to hear children laughing, to hear, someone speak your name lovingly would just be awful.
But you've already had all of that. That's
I know, but
heart.
sometimes the memory is not as kind as is what's happening currently.
Okay, that's interesting.
And the vision of people, of loved ones and things like that, just are something that I will carry with me forever. But I still like the advantage of having that, as opposed to being able to.
That's not what I was suggesting.
I don't know what that was that I just did. I have no idea what that was.
Right. I'm a fan. Right. You are cracking me up tonight. Okay, I'm sorry, Coy.
Ooh, knock on wood. Listen,
all right.
For me, it would have to be. My sight can go. Not that I ever wanted to go. Knock on wood.
Of course.
I can use my insight. I can use my heart. I can use my clairvoyance. I can see. I need to be able to move. I'm gluten free. I got allergies. Ain't nobody gonna be able to take care of me if I can't move. I just know.
But what if you're gluten free and products and things? How are you gonna see the labels?
I don't know. I'm gonna make it braille or something. I can learn how to smell it.
That stuff you can work through. I'm cool.
Well, that's that's the autonomous me. That's one who wants to take care of myself. Okay, all right, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's me. Because when we were talking about doing this, and the reason why this came up, Sybil, is because I'm losing. The older we get, Coy, keep living, your eyesight tends to go down. It's for some people, not for everybody.
And God bless you if it doesn't.
So I had a family member who had cataract service, and he had a stroke and lost one sight, and now he had cataract service and it didn't go well. And I'm like, oh my God. And so, but he can still move around because he's a very active person. And so me being positive, it's like, well, he can still, get around. And that wasn't good enough. Like, he wants his sight. And it's like, ooh. Anyway, that's how I came with that. That's how that came about, that conversation. Wow. That if you could choose and say, okay, God, don't take this, take this instead. Right.
If you can negotiate.
Right. Yeah. But I'm with you, Coy. It's like, I got to be able to move. I got to be able to on my own. Because even if I can't see, I can develop a path where I can figure out how to get to the restroom. I don't want nobody taking me to the restroom. So.
You see how little I am? They might forget about me.
And this is gross, but I want to see what I'm leaving behind. I don't want to leave that for someone else. I'm just saying.
Okay.
That was way too much information. I understand. Okay. That was fun, wasn't it, Coy?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last part wasn't fun to think about. Ooh.
Well, just trying to expand your thoughts, just getting you to think. Yeah. I like the game. I like it a lot. So as a part of the new lineup, will you continue that?
I will, but I had to say that I wouldn't make it all about men and make it all about all of that. So that that was at the top of my list.
And I like that part too.
I said, well, there's more to me than lusting after men. I'll show you.
But we already had our Lewis Gossett conversation.
Right.
Enough. Right. All right. Let's move to trending topics. And starting right off the bat, I don't know if you all saw this in last Thursday's newsletter, but Coy is beginning a regular Thursday feature in which she is going to tell people about the advantages of voting, why we should be registered, why we should vote, and the offices. Explain more about the offices that you'll be called to vote upon, if not this year, next year, or the year after that, and how it applies to you and your day-to-day living. Coy is working as a part of our partnership with Black Voters Matter, and and also on social media, you'll see her posts about this particular issue. And every week it'll be something different. So good on you, Coy, for that. And thanks to Black
Coy, that last week she talked about city council, and I really learned something. And the young lady who was doing my my hair today, Coy sent me the video, and I let her see it. And it's only about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. And so I just let her see it. And I was like, what do you think? And she's like, wow. So the city council controls the money of the city? I was like, okay, exactly. So thank you for that, Coy. What are you covering this week?
I might go into more roles within local city government. I think what would be interesting would be possibly maybe district attorney, because that's come up a lot in a lot of conversations.
Yeah, that's a good
why
one.
They're important, and the fact that we vote for them. What do they actually oversee within the court system?
Okay. And how it affects our people, because that is a part of the election campaigns. I know it is in Cook County, Illinois, in Chicago. A Black woman became district attorney and caught holy hell because of the charges that she was not filing against people for various crimes. And she caught so much hell that she chose not to run for re-election. And that was a prime election topic and subject that they confronted in the primary election. And it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
What was her name?
Kim Foxx.
Kim Foxx, yeah. Kim Foxx, yeah. Yes. And she was amazing. I remember you did a one-on-one with her. She's like you, Coy. She really loved Black people.
Yeah.
And she really made a difference in where Black people really live and the way we move around.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a shame that Black women get in a position of power and then they catch so much hell.
Well, if you're in the Trump administration, you're really a part of that. You really are the focus of a lot of that. So check this out. Coy, every Thursday in the What You Need to Know newsletter, as well as her social media post. A racially biased test kept thousands of Black people from getting a kidney transplant. I'm still not clear how this works, but I thought it was important enough to kind of put it out there. Patients were informed that they should have been put on a transplant list years in advance instead of several years later. So, say for instance, they should have been put on a transplant list in 2020, but not until 2024 were they put on this list. And it's because of a racially biased organ test was to blame. Numerous formulas or algorithms used in medical decisions, treatment guidelines, diagnostic tests, risk calculators adjust the answers according to a race or ethnicity in a way that puts people of color at a disadvantage. A once widely used test that overestimated how well Black people's kidneys were functioning, making them look healthier than they actually were, and
Right.
not being given the immediate treatment and being put on a list for a transplant. Because that, just imagine the difference
Right.
that 4 years can make in one's ability to function.
Right.
This test calculated results for Black and non Black patients differently. And so it could delay diagnosis of organ failure and evaluation for a transplant, exacerbating other disparities that already make Black patients more at risk of needing a new kidney, but less likely to get one. And this hits home for me. Man who I grew up with, my next door neighbor, he has had his second kidney transplant and is now, I'm not sure what his medical status is at this moment, but just knowing that this possibly could have been the case for him and that the delay for one transplant, not to mention two transplant, could make a difference in his quality of living as well as make them ineligible for a transplant because they're so far gone by the time they get to it.
Right. 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 Well, the fact that they don't get on the list until 4 years later, like
Right,
if you need a kidney, I mean, I don't know how any of that works. I'm very ignorant to that. If you need it, like 4 years from now, you just get on the list. How long
right.
can you survive?
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
And as I said, that makes their condition even worse. And
Worse.
at some point, the doctor will say a kidney transplant won't work for you.
Wow. Wow.
When 4 years ago, Manuel Murphy on Facebook says, I'm stage three chronic kidney disease for the last 9 years. My doctors monitor my kidney functions regularly. Love them. Good for you. And you're very lucky and you're blessed to
Yeah.
have that kind of team around you. But this once again speaks to something we talk about all the time: medical disparities
Right.
and inequalities in medicine and
Right.
how Black people and people of color
Right.
are treated.
Right.
God bless you. The Powerball has climbed to $1 billion for tonight's drawing.
Oh,
That's
oh, I
not
need
an
to go get
April
a ticket.
Fool. That's not an April Fool's joke. This is hit $1 billion to kick off the April 1st month of Powerball drawings, according to a spokesperson from the Powerball department. The estimated cash value for Monday night's drawing is $483.3 million. So if you take the cash option, the 1 billion, you get less than half.
So,
Okay.
Sybil, that has accumulated over how long of a period?
Since before the first of the year, they haven't had
So,
a loss.
like wait, it was at zero at the first of the
No,
year.
no, it was like maybe 300 million dollars, maybe even less than that. Maybe let's just say it was $100 million. I don't have the exact number,
Right.
but it has
Wow.
grown to $1 billion now on April 1st.
Wow. You have your ticket?
That's why I'm glad it's still going to be light outside
Okay.
when I
All
get
right. Well,
there.
let's wrap this little show up.
This happened in your backyard, Coy, and people are asking it wasn't an attempted breach at FBI offices in Atlanta. A driver rammed into the front gate at the FBI's Atlanta headquarters this afternoon. Video from the scene showed an SUV crumpled into the barrier with tactical vehicles surrounding the vehicle that was trying to get into, apparently. They confirmed that the suspect left the vehicle on foot and attempted to enter the facility once the vehicle stopped. The driver's name has not been released. At least it wasn't, as I tried to check just before we started this show. Multiple news outlets are reporting that he was taken to Grady Memorial for evaluation, local hospital. And in a televised news conference, The assistant special agent in charge confirmed that the driver attempted to follow an employee into the facility before crashing into the barricades that closed after the employee got in. And according to 11 Live in Atlanta, their skycopter flew over the scene where video shows an orange Buick Encore with damage to its front end at the gate. And they said he couldn't answer at this point whether or not there was any indication that this was a terrorist attack. It might have been somebody just trying to holler at somebody, and and decided they were just going to take it and just.
They do that a lot at these apartment complexes in
Right,
Atlanta.
yeah.
So it's just
But here's the thing, Coy. What's different at the apartment complexes is those gates move so slow.
It depends on where you are.
Well, my experience is you can get like 5-6 cars in before the gate starts to close on you. But in this case, they're about the business, and they're gonna close it, and they're gonna have the barricades up, and people are gonna come get you.
Right.
And that's what they did with this person. This was incredible. I don't know if anybody in the Dallas-Fort Worth area saw this on the news. This was late Saturday night, but now it appears that Rashee Rice, a wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, is wanted for what may have been his part in an accident that occurred on I-75, a major expressway in Dallas near the campus of SMU, Southern Methodist University. A car that was registered in the name of Rashee Rice has been identified at registered or leased to him, has been identified as one involved in a multi-car crash Saturday, according to his attorney, Royce West. Law enforcement officials telling the Dallas Morning News that they are searching for Rice in their investigation of a 6-vehicle accident resulted in injuries for 4 people, including 2 who were taken to the hospital. They said a driver in a Chevrolet Corvette and a driver in a Lamborghini, and Rice is alleged to be the owner or the registered person for the Corvette, were speeding along I-75 around 6 o'clock Saturday evening when it's believed they both lost control of their vehicles, the Lamborghini hitting the median wall and causing a chain reaction collision involving 4 other vehicles. But here's the worst part of it. Both the people in the Lamborghini and in the Corvette walked away.
They survived.
They not only survived, they did not stop to see how the other people were, and they left the scene.
Oh, it was a hit and run? Oh, my goodness.
Yep. And they had video of somebody that was on the scene and showed them. They say, "Are you all right?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're good." And they're like, "You're not going to stop and, give your information or check on the people?" And they just kept walking. That's why they're looking for this guy now.
That must have been his friends driving.
It could have been.
Is there video of this? Like, can we get the driver's license and?
Oh, driver's. Well, that's how they knew. That's how they knew that it was registered to him.
Okay. Well, somebody go get it.
Yeah, and TMZ, is on it. They're posting photos of people leaving the scene and what have you. And they said that this car was registered to Rashee Rice. It's not exactly how, he's believed to be connected to the incident, although they said the cops are looking to speak to him. And Royce West said his thoughts are with everyone impacted by the automobile accident Saturday. Rashee is cooperating with local authorities, will take all necessary steps to address this situation responsibly. This young man has the world at his fingertips. He was picked by the Kansas City Chiefs in the second round of last year's draft. In his rookie season, he played and participated in the Chiefs Super Bowl win.
Well, if he wasn't involved, and because he could have cars and somebody else could be driving.
It's just not a good look, to leave the scene. That's all.
Right. But I'm saying if he wasn't at the scene, if somebody else had his car,
right,
somebody else could have borrowed his car and could have done this horrific crime, and he was in Miami with his woman.
Yeah, but Royce, we need you to tell us that.
Okay, well, you can call Royce and ask him.
Okay, Governor. And also one more thing I did want to leave you with. I had so much news today, but we have run out of time.
Well, I have 2 things.
Okay.
So Ward White made the announcement that the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson matchup was happening now. So everything had to
Oh,
stop
with the
in
women's
our house.
basketball. That's what I wanted to talk about tonight.
Okay.
LSU and Iowa in the Final Four will have a rematch of the finals last year for women's basketball. So is it Caitlin Clark or is it Angel Reese for you guys?
Right. Well, right. And I told Ward, ooh, this is a big day for you blacks. Come on, Reese. Don't let us down.
No, Angel, go.
Angel. Yeah, come on, Angel. Don't let us down. Right.
But here's the thing. You know, she and it's gonna be. And why did ABC decide not to show this game? Why on ESPN? I'm not mad at them, but if all the other games have been on ABC, why not show the importance of women's basketball?
Because the black woman is playing and they don't want to give her the shine. Huh, Coy?
Right. And if she has another hand gesture or something, you know, it's gonna make a lot of moms upset.
I told Lauren, I was like, "Oh Lord, please," because this Caitlin, they're saying that she needs to go straight into the NBA.
WNBA, yeah.
That
Forget about
Ice
the
Cube
WNBA.
offered her $5 million
$5
for 10 games. It's like, oh, this poor white woman, black folks not gonna let her live.
And Angel is still upset because of the whole White House and the First Lady and wanting them all to come to the White House. I think all the girls need to come to the White House. No, that's not the way this happens.
Well, the score is 32-34 and LSU is up. So,
but here's the thing with LSU. Do I like Angel Reese more than I hate Kim Mulkey, the coach? This is what's stirring in my heart.
So the question is, who'd you rather ride with? Who you want to win? Angel Reese?
Don Staley. That's University of Southern California, South Carolina.
Okay.
I'm gone all day. But Kim Mulkey, I just don't.
Enough for Angel to lose.
See, that's the thing. What is it my love for and admiration for Angel, or is it my hatred of Kim Mulkey? And I don't relish using the word hatred, but I just like her a lot.
I just have one more thing that I want to show you that I think is important that we acknowledge.
My sister-in-law honey, Dora Lavette Tiggs. I am so sorry on Facebook. My sister-in-law transitioned Saturday, and I remember her saying her sister-in-law transitioned Saturday. Oh, we are so sorry.
Our condolences.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Sybil.
Thank you for putting that in there, Yolanda. Entertainment. So, did anybody see Lizzo quit the business?
I saw her say that, and a lot of the comments under the post where I saw that announcement kind of proved why she was quitting. It's just like people have no sensitivity; they don't care. I don't know what happened with her lawsuit.
Don't read the comments.
I mean, you can't help it.
Yes, you can, Coy. I'm sorry. Let me bring it down.
She yelled.
Coy, you can help but read the comments.
Why? They prove why. But I want to know if anything happened with her lawsuit. Like I haven't seen anything else about it.
Right. So a day after she performed she was in high cotton that day. Thursday night she performed at Radio City Music Hall with the fundraiser for Joe Biden with all the presidents there, all the Democratic presidents, and performing there at the fundraiser. She shared a post on social media suggesting she's having a difficult time. She wrote a cryptic note stating that she is getting tired of putting up with being dragged by everyone in her life and on the internet. She said, "All I want to do is to make music and make people happy and help the world be a little better than how I found it. But I'm starting to feel like the world doesn't want me in it. I'm constantly up against lies being told about me for clout and views." That's key. Being the butt of the joke of every single time because of how I look. Adding her character is being picked apart by people who don't know me and disrespecting my name. Concluding, she said, signed off saying, "I didn't sign up for this ish." And she didn't say ish. I quit. So she is people within her what formerly was her squad, members of her crew have sued her because of treatment, maltreatment, and or mistreatment, however you want to describe it, about their weight, sexually aggressive against them, and or some people in her crew or sexually aggressive against these young women. And so she's facing legal suits and as well as getting a lot of pushback from her so-called fans.
Right.
But this is how people do damage to themselves.
Right.
You know,
I
this is
just
how,
wish that I could create a potion that could give people who have to read comments where they can be a repellent, where they don't receive. I just hate that. That hurts my
I
heart
hate
so
that
much.
people even have it in their hearts to do hateful things like that.
But more importantly, even if they do, that has nothing to do with me. See, that's not a reflection on Lizzo. That is a reflection on
Reflection
the
on
person
them.
that's doing the
That's what I'm
hate.
Mhm.
saying. I just
Mhm.
hate that these people have this in their hearts to be so hateful, to build people up to and to bring them down like that. What do you gain from that? What kind of joy do you receive from that?
See, the beauty of you
Their
is you,
ego.
yeah, the beauty of you is you try to rationalize that. My thing is, I just think again, as going back to the beginning when we were talking about if you got a problem with me, it's you. And so, because my heart is pure, I have good intentions. And if you got something ugly to say about me, I can't take what ugly things you say to me to heart
Right.
because you're the messed up person, not me. So, why am I going to take to heart some messed up you said because you're the messed up individual? No. So, if you can't have that repellent, don't read the comp. Figure out a way, because I understand, Coy, you can't help it.
I just read them just to see what people are saying. It wasn't on her page
Why?
though, but you know, just
But
interested to see what everybody's view was. That's all.
right. Okay. Okay.
I have reached the age where I really don't give a damn. And that's what really hurts me is that people sit in their mama's basements and they troll people and
That's
do
not true because 50 Cent is not sitting in anybody's basement.
I bet you he is. He's probably
Having
still
a
in
seat.
his mama's basement.
That's funny. You
50
know
Cent is
what?
probably
In his
sitting in his
head.
lonesome.
In his head, he is in his grandmama's basement.
Right.
He's
Because
probably in his lonesome.
if
He
you
gotta
got
be
that
lonely.
kind of time to troll somebody, to bring somebody down, what are you doing? But anyway, I'm sorry, Sybil. I
That's
digress.
okay.
Gotta be lonely.
Let's close out with your jewel, Yolanda.
Patience.
I have it if you don't.
Oh,
Are,
yeah.
are you calling to the
Right. Because it's a patience and time and
being patient?
understanding. Go ahead.
Being patient means allowing time to unfold naturally and understanding
Understanding
that some things are beyond our
your
control.
control.
So that goes out to Lizzo too.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Read that again, Sybil. Seriously, that's
Being
really good.
patient means allowing time to unfold naturally and understanding that some things are beyond our control.
A lot of things are. God bless you, Lizzo. Mm.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for participating, Yolanda and Coy, and we will see you all again soon.
Thank you for allowing me, Sybil. Thank you. I enjoyed you, Coy. Thank you.
Thank
Aloha.
you.
All right, bye-bye.